Okie doke. Well, today we are going to be doing just an overview, really. The last stream we had a lot of computer problems. We've been working on the toolbox a little bit. I kind of wanted to make this stream about just my current setup, seeing where the optimizations, just getting better organized and the things I like, things I want to improve upon on this system, specifically better documentation, because a lot of people are like, what's your setup? And with my setup, it's complicated. And I want to fix that. I want to make it less complicated, more documented, so the people that kind of better understand what I actually enjoy, what I don't enjoy, and tackle it a little bit more of a way, and also make sure we have backups of my current setup on like GitHub, because if I wipe out this system, we got it. So first update is the actual hardware side of things. This is, oh, do we have, oh, Neo fetch. Let's just do a Neo fetch. We downgraded the memory. This caused until grief. Last stream we ended with this Corsair RGB Pro. Maybe instead of just putting a bunch of buzzwords, they should have just made some good memory. That would be my advice to Corsair. Now, I've used Corsair Vengeance in the past. This is the first time I got it with these little lights and the RGB on it. Less RGB, more error correction is what my recommendation is. I will never buy this again. This was terrible and caused me untold grief, and I'm just mad that to see that kind of failure of memory, because it was a ton of errors, like 10% in, like 5,000 errors or something ridiculous. So the fact of the machine were even working in Windows and Linux kind of speaks volumes to how good the operating systems are to be able to error correct like that with as messed up as the memory is. So, but that's now fixed. Obviously, I'm just running on one stick of memory now, 16 gigs. Honestly, it's probably plenty. I'm still going to hang it out. I think I'm going to wait another generation before upgrading again. The 5600 still treat me okay. And the 5700 XT GPU, again, is still kind of treat me okay. So I think I'm going to stick it out one more generation and fix that. As far as the stream PC, it cut out the last stream too. And I think that I blame the Elgato capture card from overheating, and then it just, you know, cut out all my sources. So that's kind of like an update on the hardware aspect of things. Let's get Chatterino up so we can check in with chat. Do we have Chatterino in here? Oh, do we not install it? Chatterino? Oh, do we not have Chatterino? Oh, we don't. Oh my goodness. Chatterino? Okay, we got a lot of Chatterinos here. Looks like it's all coming from Dankerino. What in the world? Probably just do the app image. Should be fine. Get that going. Get our chat up on the screen. I also like WeChat a lot too. Not WeChat. Is it WeChat? What is the terminal-based chat? I want to say. Yeah, I think it is WeChat. Fast Light IRC chat. You can actually use that to contact into Twitch as well, which is kind of neat. Anywho. Let's go like, I think we can go to like 0 and then do a launch of Chatterino now. And then no matter where we're at, it launches on all of the systems, which is kind of cool. Well, and not the WeChat you're thinking. You're thinking like WeChat from China. WEE chat is like a terminal IRC client. It came before everything else, for the most part. Oh man, we should probably change the stream title too, but yeah, it's fine. But no matter where we're at, the cool thing, like let's say we launch Brave, it should just push that over. Now I have been working on this side of things. I think if we just do, yeah, we push it over a little bit, no matter where we're at, we can just kind of throw that on each side. So this is my DWM setup, which is kind of neat. I love how I can just, no matter where I'm at, I can go to a blank space and it always chat just kind of follows me. And combines with everything using workspace 0. So, it's neat. I dig the new setup for live streaming. So this is my DWM setup, which we probably need to explore a little bit more. I wanted to make like a help guide, so if people want to follow me, most of the neckbeards these days are like all into like Wayland and Hyperland and all that business. DWM's just so much better though, like from a stability standpoint, and just it's just a lot better. It's just not very flashy. It's not as cool. It doesn't have all the animation effects, and I get why people don't like it, but I'm like an old man that's just like, but it just works. You know, I'm gonna go full Todd Howard here. It just works, and I love it. No matter what distro you're on, if you're on Fedora, you're on NixOS, you're on Arch, you're on Debian, whatever, you can just throw DWM, say install, and it's just gonna work for you. I love that. I think we work on the DWM script a little bit, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Windows is just, woof. Did anybody see the new update, the 23H2? We probably need to explore that a little bit. I installed Shorts Blocker, by the way. Shorts on YouTube were just driving me up a wall, and I was like, I gotta get rid of them. So I like that extension. Shorts Blocker is highly recommended if you don't like shorts. You know, if you want to be a brain damn zombie and use the short form content, you go right ahead. But if you don't, highly recommend that extension. All right, 23H2 Windows. I think they even did a live event. They tried to do like an Apple live event, but nobody showed up, I think was the funny thing. We go Verge or PC World. I think what we'll do actually, surely 23H2 is in my RSS feed. We got that. Let's try this one. Copilot won't actually take their jobs. That's kind of funny. What do we got here? Yeah, so 23H2 has Copilot baked in. There was a neat little video I saw. Let's see, is it in here? No, not here. They're just assuring people it's not going to remove their jobs. Maybe junior engineers, it might. Rolling out general users. I might need to try that out. Upgrade to 23H2. I just hate the insider track. It's hard to get off. You can't really get off it without formatting again. So it's like, ugh. Oh. Oh gosh, I forgot to tell you guys too. Like, man, check out this. Like when we launch Steam, holy smokes. I think it's gonna launch on, is it Workspace 9? Yeah, Workspace 9. This is working so much better. Like this was crashing before, and Starfield actually validated, updated, and it installed just fine. All my corrupt game issues was all that, this stupid Corsair memory. I'm gonna keep this here as a prop just to shame Corsair and their Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro. They have made a lifetime enemy out of me. Less RGB, more error correction, Corsair. Last time I ever get something with shiny lights on it. Serves me right. But from now on, shiny lights equals a no-go. It's got to be bland. You know, I had a, you know, the funny thing is I had a lot of Corsair Vengeance before this, but this is the first time I ever had the RGB. Hate it. Die. I hate you. Ah. Sorry. Anywho, yeah, that was what was causing all my corrupt game files installs in Linux for like the past month. I've made so many live streams, and I've had, I look like a giant idiot for those, but I'm gonna leave them up just for a thing. But every live stream, I think I'm gonna bring up the bad memory from Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro. That's a mouthful. Deserves to be canceled for that. Anywho. Yeah, I think no RGB is you know, that's the Giga Chad move here for sure. What OS would you recommend for the average PC user? You know, most people Windows. I mean, it's what they know. So it just depends on you as a person. What do you have experience in? Because at the end of the day, Most people are unwilling to learn something new. I'm being real here. It's just what people know, and most people know Windows, and you can debloat it and make it okay. And there's some caveats to that. I think there's some people that only need it for like a web browser or something. Then maybe like Linux Mint makes sense for them because it'll just not change and they'll always have a web browser that's good. Or maybe Mac if they're a very wealthy individual. Nothing wrong with Mac. It's very reliable, very stable. So that makes sense for those users. But for the majority of the population, Windows is still king. As much as I hate to admit it. It's just the world we live in right now. What does it look like? Do we have a 23H2 download? Let's see what the Windows ISO download looks like right now. Oh, is it air? Oh, yeah. Ah, so good. Delicious. They need Tutus OS. Man, they need a better management team is what they need. You can get the most gifted technician in the world, but a better management team, yeah, that's just not going to do them much good. All right, so we do, right now it's 22H2 still. I wonder if they have a 22H3 download ISO. Probably not. Yeah, everything's still 22H2. I just hate to do, we could push that to like an insider build. I think you could also, oh, there, Tech Sanjeet. I think you can also do the open source project to download the ISO from TechNet. MiniTool always has like these AI built articles, which are kind of hilarious. I bet you it says Insider Edition. Let's see. Oh my gosh, yeah, media creation. That's not going to get you 23H2. Yeah, ugh, gross. That's so hilarious. Yeah, they do have a really good AI built article generator at MiniTool. But yes, all of them are junk. And they're actually, what is Tiny 11? How to download? Are they telling them to go to a pirated website to download the? No, okay. They're using the OSD builder script. Oh no, they do give it out. Microsoft could come after MiniTool for this. So that's straight up piracy if they're redistributing the ISO. No, they took it down. Man, MiniTool better watch out. Their AI is going to get them in hot water. Making articles showing how to download illegally modified Windows ISOs. Anywho, that's fun. Oh, yeah, 23H2. Yes, you're right. 23H2 download ISO. Let's see if we can find a good article. This one's 4 days ago. Does it have it on the website? Let's see. Does give us the official one. This is going to be 22H2. Yeah. No. That's funny. Everybody makes the same one. I wonder if they're all just using the same deal. Rufus might actually get you there. That's still 22H2. That's hilarious. It just goes to show how much AI is taking over these article builds. Just trying to find something on the internet that isn't broken or isn't generated by the same crap. It's funny how all the articles almost end up being the same. This one looks a little bit better. Let's see. Canary. And then the dev channel's 23H2. Ooh, that's a risky click, isn't it? Let's see. Where's it? Oh, yeah. Okay. This site may be delicious. Guardio. Let's uninstall Guardio, actually. I was going to do an ad spot for Guardio, but I don't think I am anymore. Remove. Nope. Remove. Let's see. Oh, did I not copy the URL correctly? I think probably the best way to do this would be there's a script actually to download whatever version of Windows you want. Rufus built it into their ISO, I want to say. Yeah, UUP dump, GitHub, and I want to say they have where is so you can grab whichever version you want. This is pretty cool. hadn't been updated in a while, but this is a PS1 script. You could actually probably do PowerShell on Linux and still be able to grab it. Yeah, I want to say Rufus uses the UUP dump on the back end as well. Let's see. Kind of want to do it on Linux just to get it. Let's see. I think this is probably needs to be updated. There's probably another project out there that's a little better. I did have this at one time, and I can't remember what star it was. Do you ever see Microsoft buying ownership of the whole Linux OS like Arch or Debian? Well, Arch and Debian are community distros, so they're not owned by a single person, so they can't sell off the rights. So that's not a concern because the community owns Arch and Debian. That's why I always recommend Arch and Debian, because a company can't destroy it because there's no company that owns them. They're community. That's why I'm always like, hey, install Arch or Debian. That's the choices that you have in today's world, like Fedora and Red Hat and all the other crap out there, Ubuntu. It's like all that's just corporate now, and we've seen all the negativity and just bad things that have brought about by it. So all those distros are dead to me. Anything run by a corporation now, I'm just like, no, it has to be a community distro, because then you don't have to worry. You're not building a house on sand, so to speak. So any Fedora distro, I immediately discount it and just throw it away. It's dead to me. I don't want to worry about some weird change happening in like a year or two, or something getting closed, or paywalled, or some weirdness. That some high up executive made a decision and destroyed the distro. All that crap. I don't want to deal with that. So any company-backed distro is immediately in the garbage can for me. Any fork of a company-backed distro, immediately in the garbage can. So that leaves Arch, Debian, and there's a couple others we could explore. Like, I think NixOS is a pretty small team. I like NixOS as well. I think that's pretty much community run. But yeah, that's all my thoughts on it. Dragon Skies, here's the link, UUPEE 22H2. I want to say there was a better tool to grab it direct. Let me see if I can't find it. I know we could grab it with that tool and stuff, but I want to say there was a better one that we can directly interface with that has a really neat one that I'd actually recommend people use. Let's see if I could find it exactly without having to download some kind of shady executable. Just want a script. And I used the script before. Let me check my GitHub stars. I swear I've done it before. Maybe my stars, actually. Oops. No. Back. No. You don't need Windows. Oops. UUP. Let's try Windows. What ones have I stored? That reminds me, I gotta add sudo back into my NeoVim. I have been working on a new NeoVim, by the way, guys. That is so good. Like, it's made NeoVim really pop for me for a while. So on Windows and Linux, I'm using NeoVim a bunch. And I love the developer of NeoVim created something called Kickstart NeoVim. And I use that as my base now. And, oh, chef's kiss. There's so much cool stuff. And now I'm just kind of adding my extra tweaks to it. I just say that because I do need to add that plugin. I love sudo. It automatically elevates your script to like a sudo when you need to write, like, let's say a config file or something. Really easy. Let's keep going. Man, I thought I had something there. Yeah, Kickstart NVim. That's it. You're talking about TJ Devs Kickstart NVim. I am. It is the bee's knees, man. And I know that's in here. I've started that because I'm currently working on it. I'll show you what I've done with it. But Kickstart, I'm sure, yeah. This is the package that I've built my NeoVim off of. I'm going to link it in chat. Wow. If you are a NeoVim user, this is one of the devs of NeoVim. He created this Kickstart because he was like, hey, I know it's really complex getting like LSPs and other stuff working, and people have used like LazyVim, LunarVim, NVChad. There's a bunch of different projects. Kickstart is really the best I've found because it's more of a minimal setup, saying here's the basis you need for error correction and what it should look like, and it's a pretty simplistic start for NeoVim, and then you just build on top of it. So that's what I've been doing with my NeoVim. I use this as the base, and then I started kind of building my own NeoVim on top of it, and oh my gosh, it is awesome. Love it. Okay, sorry, but super minimal. And if you're a NeoVim user and you haven't tried this yet, you gotta try it. And I'll eventually make a video about my new NeoVim once I'm done customizing it. So maybe in a couple years. All right, sorry. UUP GitHub project for downloading. I want to say there was something. Let's try. Oh no! What in the world was that? That wasn't it. I don't think. I'm not sure if it was using the API or not. It into like a VS Code, a little bit. There's some like error correction and LSP lookups and things like that it makes it to do, but it's not anything too bad. Well, maybe you pumped CLI. Was this it? No, this has been archived. Maybe it was the RGL one. Let's try it. Let's just try this one right here. I want to say this. Let's see what version it grabs for us. Get Windows ISO. I wonder. I'm making a video about security too. With a lot more people with quantum computing becoming a lot more readily available, I do wonder, when are we going to change to something that's like get off of like the SHA and other versions. Oh, so here's the targets. We need to change this script. Let's grab and modify this script. We'll just change it to the versions we need. But I that's one other thing I was wondering. When it comes to quantum computing and a lot of our current encryption is just so easily broken by it. There's some quantum resistant encryption out there, and when's everything gonna move to that? I feel like that should have already happened. If I guess we kind of live in a world right now that privacy and security is not really a thing, but just the illusion of it. But I would like it for us more technical people actually to have that option readily available. I don't know. Just my shower thought of the day. Anyhow. I didn't buy a new system, man. We're still rocking the old one. We're just rocking with half the memory. Signal just released their quantum resistant version. Oh, that's good to hear. So there are people moving to it. Nice. So there we go. Signal Messenger introduces PQX DH, quantum resistant encryption. That's cool. Because yeah, a lot of the old school, especially the Diffel-Hellman, I'm saying that wrong. The old version of that I know is easily broken by quantum computers. So a lot of governments already have access to that and can easily break into a lot of encryption out there. So by no means are you secure just by having like SHA, 256, I think it is, and some of the other well-known encryption patterns. Yeah. Or AES 256, yeah. But this is more resistant to the quantum computers. That's cool. Look at Signal. Signal's so good. I should use Signal more, but I don't know. I don't really care that much. I think that's the problem. I care enough just so like when I want to be secure, I would like to have the tools to be secure. But a lot of times I'm like, Signal erased my chats again. Darn it. It's so much easier when it's just there forever on Discord. It's terrible. But at least I know it's not secure and pretty much the whole world can see the chats. There's some people that are like dumb enough to think like, hey, I got a VPN, I'm secure. Those poor sacks. Alright, anyways. You have my number, I'm on Signal. Okay, good to know. Alright, sorry. Man, I am super all over the place today. Sorry, y'all. We're gonna grab this guy. Let's just grab let's go into GitHub. GH repo create UUP download. I think we got to add like a public. Let's create UUP down, GH repo clone UUP download. All right. Let's get here. Let's grab that. Let's work on, do we have PowerShell? I know, I'm blasphemous using PowerShell in, hey, PowerShell's not here? I bet it's called like PowerShell. Where are you at? Okay. What version has that been? Has a pretty good reputation, so I guess we'll do that. Binary release is 0.5. Yeah, we'll go with the binary release. I don't feel like compiling it. Who isn't a CLI user of GitHub? You gotta, man. It's so good. So good. Especially, you gotta use the GitHub CLI, though. Just using Git kind of sucks. And I already have like a whole bunch of aliases to kind of make my life easier with the CLI. So once you get like the GitHub CLI package installed so you can use GH to navigate like your repos, and then you use aliases to go ahead and like bundle stuff up and just do like commits and pushes. Oh, so good. Yeah, GH for GitHub, GLab for GitLab, and normal Git. Yeah. GitHub is amazing. I love it. I fear the day that when Microsoft actually screws it up. It's totally gonna happen. Do I have, I think this is my new NeoVim. I forget if I updated it on this PC or not. Anyways, so Windows 11 search cumulative update Windows 11 22H2. I want to say we can change this. What's 23H2 version number? Windows 23H2 version. Let's just do GPT's good. What is the build version for 23H2 Windows? Oh, that's right. GPT's not up to date. Let's try Bard. Let's try that. Got it. Yeah. Okay. Dang, really? Oh, 1 second. Okay, here we go. All right, let's try this. Insider is 22631. Let's see what Bard kicks out. Look at that. We have verification from Twitch chat, which I trust Twitch chat way more than AI. Twitch chat has been like 95% accurate, where like AI is more like 40%. Factual numbers right there. I didn't just pull that out of thin air. All right, so we'll go with that build number. Let's just paste that guy in there. I feel like that's pretty good. Now, let's just do PWSH, UUP, and is it gonna, I think, oh no, we gotta do a property of Windows 11? Oh, maybe not. Name or service, API. Oh, did they shut down the UUP API? No. Probably just an older script. Name or service not known. Okay, UUPdump.net is dead now. Darn it. Let's ask Bard, what is an alternative to UUPdump.net? Microsoft nuked it. Man, sad face. What about using UUP AdGuard? We could try that. Let's go Insider Edition. Ooh, there we go. Neat little website. I've used AdGuard, RG AdGuard sometimes. Sometimes the antivirus flags it for some reason. I feel like Windows antivirus has gone from bad to worthless. Everything's been false flagged on a lot of internet suites lately. I feel like it's just gotten out of control. I don't think I've ever used this. So that uses a CMD. What's this one? It's all CMD links, default generation links. Interesting. So if you download that guy, let's take a look at this CMD file. Maybe we can modify it. Let's just go to our UUP download. I wonder. Yeah, that does look fishy. I don't think I trust that. But I do want to take a look at the CMD file. I bet we can convert it. Oops, WGE. That did not mean anything. It's me just fat fingering. Let's see what this CMD file looks like. Get admin VBS. It's just elevating to VBS or admin script. If not exist, create image X, Wim Library. I believe, what's that CD? Okay. Araya2c.exe. I don't think I've ever used that kind of script to grab it. Yeah. Always kind of weird. Don't think I like this way at all. How they're snatching this from Microsoft servers. I don't know what I'm doing. This seems stupid. Let's just reboot into Windows. Just run Rufus. I trust Rufus. Rufus never steers me wrong. It's been a while. I don't think I've actually booted into Windows since I fixed my memory. I have noticed everything loads so much faster. Which is pretty hilarious. Alright. Do we have Rufus installed? Ooh. I have that on my toolbox, don't I? Let's just do that. Okay, we're good. Rufus. Yeah, I was like, I got that. There's no way I don't have Rufus. Oh, we already have Dathis actually put the link in the chat for us. Is it going to spit out the ISO? It may not like that we're on Windows. Yeah, that's okay. Let's just change it to Linux, shall we? To access this page, you need to remember the... Oh, that's right. Okay, I should have just read that. 1 second. Alright, we signed in. Let's go, blah, blah, blah. Dev channel, blah, blah, blah. Read the system requirements. Download the ISO. I think... It's not going to actually give me the ISO, is it? I don't know why Microsoft likes to make this such difficult, just grabbing an ISO for a preview build. But it's a little maddening. Alright, it's all the way down here. We'll do the dev channel. Canary is actually a little bit ahead of 23H2. It's just kind of buried down here. Alright, here we go. Insider privilege. Let's try out the Copilot, shall we? I kind of want to check out the Copilot baked into Windows. You can even have it organize your windows for you. Doesn't that sound great? Sounds amazing to me. Well, I'm not upgrading my actual version of Windows on here to Insider because I actually use this for programming because I'm not a crazy person that runs Insider. It's like the guinea pig of guinea pigs, man. Alright, we got our Insider ISO. Let's just launch into a VM, shall we? We'll just use Workstation. Alrighty. Let's go delete from disk. Yes. We're going to create a new VM. Let's go into our downloads, grab our Insider. Let's try this new 23H2. See if it's as good as people say it is. And by people, I mean Microsoft. 23H2 is what this one is. Generate for our TPM. Gigabytes. Let's not give it too much room to run here. Let's just give it 40. Let's customize that hardware. They always screw this part up. Let's go 8 gigs processors. Let's go 8. Rest looks pretty good. Alrighty. Perfect. Finish. Let's power this bad boy on and try it. I like VMware Workstation the best for emulating VMs on Windows systems. Obviously, for Linux, QEMU is, you know, the king. It's just absolutely amazing. Did I miss that? You gonna give that to me? What's going on? There it goes. Like, what? What is happening? Hyper-V on Windows. Hyper-V is not bad. It's just, it doesn't move very fast, and Microsoft doesn't update it much, especially on their residential systems. If I was running like a newer version of like Windows Server, I probably would stick with Hyper-V, but I'm not a huge, I've never been a huge fan of Hyper-V, to be honest with you. Yeah, I feel when it comes to the workspace kind of thing, I feel like just VMware does a better job. Like a lot better job. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, you should snag those. That's a great deal. Yeah. I love my earbuds. Love you. All right. Let's go 11 Pro, of course. That's usually what I go. Yeah, let's see how fast this is on a stock install. This is about a little over a 5 gig Windows install. No changes, obviously. Actually, let's just throw it on the allocated. Shouldn't take very long. Allocated about 8 gigs of memory, 8 cores, or not 8 cores, I think it was 8 threads. 8 processors is really 8 threads, from how I remember VMware doing it. Yeah, the thing about Hyper-V is the scheduling in it can be a little wonky, especially on residential things. You can make Hyper-V perform better. Like if you're saying Hyper-V is really slow, typically that's from the scheduling changing. I think they changed the scheduler, I want to say like the CPU scheduling and how it handles tasks. I want to say after 1803 or 1807, and that became a little bit more inefficient for Hyper-V. So, and you can change that back. I have a little script that changes it back, and it makes Hyper-V more performant, and you can make Hyper-V good on a residential system. It's just more of a pain when you could just install VMware. I'm trying to think of exactly what it was on the scheduling, but I know the older one, Hyper-V, performed better last time I tried it. Okay. Oh yeah, I guess we could check if it breaks anything on the new update. Maybe. Copilot, I don't know how they're installing Copilot on 23H2. This is the first time I've ever installed 23H2. Let's see how much worse the setup is. What's the out-of-box experience like in 23H2? Let's find out. We're about to see. I imagine not much has changed. I just noticed. First time for virtual machines on Twitch. I've done a lot. I used to do almost on a daily occurrence with PCI pass-through using QEMU. But then my son needed like a computer, so I just snagged the second GPU that I was using my PCI pass-through and gave it to him. Chris, you know any lazy NVIM setup that supports Dart Flutter? Have you tried the Kickstart NVIM? Because I think it auto detects it. It uses lazy instead of Packer for the package manager, so you might actually be, it might be better for you. Yeah, now I just, you actually aren't that wrong, Sparky. I do just format and reinstall my main system. Although I think this system's been installed for a while. Let's see. Let's just see, shall we? So let's run a system info. When did I install this system? Ah, okay, well, original install date was March 23rd of this year. Hey, it's almost 6 months, guys. 6 months on my Windows install. That might be a record for me. That's funny. Yeah, time to nuke. Can't be setting any more records like that. All right, let's see if the out-of-box experience is any worse than before. 22H2, I think, still had like domain join, and then you could bypass with a local account relatively easy. Let's see if they changed any of those. Let's name this test 2023. I reinstall Windows one time every year after computer party. I mean, when you deal with Windows, inevitably the registry does bloat up a little bit. You have, you know, a lot of these recurring feature updates, especially if you're not like delaying the feature updates. I think a reinstall every year is pretty warranted in Windows because it never does a very good job of that. All right, let's just go work and school. All right, so we'll go sign in options, domain join instead. We'll say the account test. Next. No password. That should skip all bypass all our registry questions. Well, it doesn't really matter. My script disabled all that crap anyways. So we'll just go next. Doesn't look like anything changed between the feature updates. Yeah, what? I think I'm on 22H2 on this one. Yeah, 22H2. I usually just install directly from that. Anytime I do a feature update and push to the newer version, I usually always do a nuke and pave. But I usually stay on feature updates for at least a year or two. In business, sometimes I'll push it to like 3 years, 2 to 3 years, just so I don't have to deal with it. What version of Windows are you doing there, .tk? If you're having WinGit install issues, usually that tells me you're probably on like an LTSC or maybe even a version of server maybe. I still like Windows 10 for a lot of my installs, to be honest with you. Windows 11 is not terrible, but hey, that's it. Oh, by the way, Mexican Patrick, thank you so much for the gifted stub there 20 minutes ago. I am slow as dirt to notice things, but I did see that. Appreciate you. All right, we're on the insider build. Do we have Copilot? Probably not, huh? I don't see Copilot here. What version? 22H2. Really? You gonna do me like that, Microsoft? You said it was the insider build. Sit on a throne of lies. Really? Dev channel. Okay. So maybe they meant the Canary channel. Alright, I guess we'll switch from dev to Canary because they lied. Let's do an update. Maybe the dev channel will pull the... Yeah, whatever. No, it didn't grab the ISO because the dev channel technically should be 23H2. Hey, look, Windows is getting smarter. It's got an intelligence update. That's the first time I've seen that. Online experience pack. Whoa. It's got 2 intelligence updates. It's getting smarter, apparently. Or maybe dumber. Let's not pass judgment until it actually installs, huh? The pause for Windows updates I think only goes like a couple weeks, so I don't typically do that. If you're gonna do it, like my toolbox does this, but I'm just gonna show you the long way of doing it. So typically what I would do would come into here. I think it's Windows components, and if you go into Windows updates, here, let's just show that. And I think you can manage preview builds. And what you can do is you can specify the channel that you're in. And typically you'd want the release preview with quality updates only. This is going to really push back a lot of, what the hell? Oh, it failed. It said it's not 64 gigs. It needs 64 gigs of disk space. Wow. You can also specify a target version as well. You put that in right here, and it tries its best, but it doesn't really do a great job. I don't know why you disable safeguards for feature updates. That sounds like a bad idea. Do not include driver updates with Windows updates. I do like to enable this. Windows Update's gotten better with the drivers, but I still don't trust Windows Update handling my drivers. And then select when quality updates. Typically, I'll go like 2 days, or even 4 days, really. So it goes from a Tuesday to a Saturday. I don't ever like pausing quality updates because that's our security updates. They should call it security updates, not quality updates. And they should call preview builds to... Preview builds and feature updates is just they should just call them guinea pig builds. So usually I like to go like max here, so you go like 365. I think is the most you can do. Can you go above that? Yeah, no, 365 is the most you can do for pushing it back. So that'll push your preview builds and feature updates a whole entire year. The year starts ticking once the new feature update comes out. So you can usually get a year or more off of this. It just depends on when the next feature update. Since we're literally about to get 23H2, if we were on 23H2 and we hit this, we'd probably be delayed about 2 years. But again, it just depends. So it's anywhere between 1 and 2 years usually when you set that option. Alrighty. Oh, let's fix issues. Let's see what we got. Oh, that's gonna just always bomb out because of the... That's funny. I didn't know that they put a hard cap in there. Strange. Yeah, let's just power that off. We might be able to expand that hard disk. Let's see. Push it up to like 64. Turn it back on. They call it quality updates because the rest of them are bullshit. You're not wrong. Okay, so now we'll have that. We should be able to come into here. Let's go ahead and expand this. Usually, okay, that's just the install one. Let's install VMware tools. That should pop out a new drive for us. So our VM's a little bit better looking. We get some scaling options, and it usually performs a little better with our virtual machine tools in it. Yeah, a lot of people, typically the younger crowd, I would say, does a lot of updates in Windows. I think that's still there. If you've been in IT for, I'd say, over 10 years, you typically don't run into anybody that's like, hey, make sure you run your updates. I know that used to be a big talking point, but you don't really run into that very much these days. I just say make sure you configure your updates. That's how I usually phrase it these days. Not make sure you update, but configure. So you get your quality updates and you push back your feature updates. That's the best configuration you can do for Windows. Hi, I have a problem with one of my AMD 5900 CPUs. On one of my CPUs, no matter what I use, Windows or Linux, one core randomly runs at 100%. Any ideas? Did I lose the CPU lottery? I would check to see if your BIOS has an update. I know the 5000 series, when they first got released, a lot of them were on the, I think it was the 500 boards that had pretty crappy BIOSes. So the AMD chips weren't interfacing very well. And you might be able to get away with just a nice BIOS update and fix that one CPU pinning or that one core pinning at 100 for you. There we go. Cool. Now this feels better. Okay. Now let's run our updates and see if we get the 23H2. We'll go Windows Update. Fix issues. So this did install 22H2 as the base, but I believe this will upgrade it and do a feature update 23H2. 1 second. We've got to fix this. I bet you it didn't expand this guy. Gosh. All right, 1 second. Let's go fix this up. We'll just go old disk part here. List par, list vol. Oh boy. Huge raid. I was like, dude, we get who raided us? Oh crap, I can't even see. Oh, the Primogen. Of course, of course. I love Prime. He's amazing. What's up, Primes chat? We're checking out the new 23H2 in here. I was like, what is going on with chat? We're just needing to wipe out some parts of our VM, adjust our partition structure, and then expand it for old 23H2 to upgrade. Right now, if we look a version we're running on, even though this is a dev build, it is still running 22H2 direct from Microsoft. Here we go. So let's wipe out a few of these disks. I want to say the hidden disk there at 558 is our recovery disk. So we can select vol 3 and delete par. This deletes the entire partition. Now, you could do this through disk management, like right here, but you can't really get rid of it. So that's kind of a problem. Ooh. And if it runs into that, I think you can just do like a /force and you should be good. Or force. All right, fine. Help delete partition. What am I missing? Oh. Override. Okay, now if we go back to disk, it should be fine. So let's go back to disk management. Yeah, it's override, and then we should just be able to extend the volume. That recovery partition will prevent you from extending it, so we should be able to take up that entire partition. Usually that does require a reboot, but maybe not. Let's see. Let's try to redo it. We can also check our Explorer, see what we got on this PC. You need to do a few things more. Okay, looks like we're good. This doesn't make me feel good though. This does not give me a warm fuzzy feeling in my belly when I say almost ready. We need to do a few more things before we can update. We'll let you know when we're done and what to do next. This window will automatically close in 2 minutes. What kind of message is that? Like, how to scare the hell out of your user? Don't worry, we got this, but it's probably gonna take us a couple minutes. We'll let you know when we're done doing the stuff in the background. We're not gonna tell you what it's doing, but it's almost there. Like, who thinks up these, like, what, in what world is that okay? All right, I guess we just sit here and wait. I mean, say what? That is such a wild error. Damn it, Windows. Why you gotta be like that? Ah, that sounds like a developer wrote it. Maybe. I don't know. Oh boy. Do we dare to close it? Let's see what happens. Let's close it. It looks like it's downloading. I think that's all it's doing. That is wild though. We'll leave it because we're gonna get Copilot in here because I have been using Copilot a lot. I've been coding a lot in .NET lately and trying to push out a sister tool that leverages my PowerShell script that's gotta be pretty awesome. That's gonna use the tweaks.json, and we've been kind of messing around with that lately. Steven, we did not. For those that didn't see Tuesday's stream, this right here, this awful, terrible Corsair. Look at this. This is just, oh, it's flipped and upside down. But the Vengeance RGB Pro. Oh, I just want to snap it in half. This stupid piece of memory caused me so much grief that I was just so pissed. Oh man. Anyways, it was causing a lot of corruption in Linux and Windows. The Windows Explorer actually had some corruption. In Linux, all my game installs, like I was trying to do Baldur's Gate 3, Starfield in Linux, all of them ended up getting corrupted. As soon as I removed this memory, again, Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro, less RGB, more ECC, right? As soon as I removed it, everything was fine. System sped up, all the verification went from minutes to seconds, everything fixed. It was all just a bad piece of memory that caused me weeks of headache. So don't over RGB your memory. Let that be a lesson. I don't have an ECC motherboard, so I think I'd probably go with you know, a rack motherboard. There's a couple brands you can go with. Probably Supermicro, what I like. They don't do like a fancy BIOS, nothing really to look at, but a lot of their boards do support ECC. I thought about going with like a 7945H, I think it is, a Pro processor for Ryzen that supports ECC, and switching completely over to ECC on my next build, because I never want to go through this again where I just got like egg on my face. It's terrible. Yes, yeah, Starfield, everything works. Everything works as it should. That's the thing. I'm like, really? Yeah, I just don't want another one of those pieces of memory. I think I'm just gonna run 16 gigs. I did get this memory, I think I had some coupons to like Best Buy, and it was on sale, like half off. So I ended up paying like $20 for the memory. So it's not like a huge loss. I'm just more upset. Yeah, if I had a lot of money, I'd go with the Super Micro Xeon PC, but I don't have that much money for the Xeon processors. I think the entry level is about $1,400 for a Xeon, where the Ryzen Pro is about $400. So you save quite a bit more money. I like Intel better than AMD, but AMD is considerably cheaper, especially when you start dealing with ECC stuff, where I think even the regular non-pro Ryzen processors have unofficial ECC support if the motherboard supports it. But I don't think I'd go that route. If I really was going to go ECC memory, I'd go with a Pro processor. You have to special order. It's kind of like an eBay special kind of thing when you go that route, because the Pro processors are hard to track down. You can't just go on like Newegg or Amazon and grab them. Yeah, the 7800X3D does support ECC memory. Oh, and you don't need a special motherboard. I'm not sure how accurate that is. I think you still... It depends. It might support the actual installation of ECC, but whether or not ECC is activated is a big one. Hey, thanks for the Prime there, Zal. Yeah, buying memory has become like choosing sticker combination and gamer word soup you like. Who actually manufactured the inside RAM? Yeah, it's probably just all one guy. I pretty much agree with that. But ECC, you're always going to get good memory, 100% of the time. Yeah, so there's on-die ECC memory, and then there is actual ECC, memory that is checked by the entire, supported by the CPU. And that's what you want. On-die, I believe, is only to the actual memory stick, where if you have it to where it's in the CPU, it actually checks it fully. So on-die itself is better, I guess, than nothing, but you really don't want that version. You really want your CPU to support the ECC, and then you never will have another memory issue. I'm not much of a hardware guy, but my limited understanding is that. So you really want full ECC where everything supports it, your motherboard, your CPU, and the actual memory itself. You can't just go buy ECC and pop it in a system for the most part. So yes, you'd need like the trifecta there. So you need CPU, motherboard, and the memory. And yeah, I think the next one I will do that, just because, man, this was not fun. And dude, this insider preview, we should have just re-downloaded the Canary. Let's do that, so I never have to do this. So this was the last download we did. I'll let that keep going in the background, but let's switch this out. We'll switch to a Canary build, confirm, and we'll go there. Confirm that as well. Isn't ECC more for servers though? Yeah, you're always going to usually run into ECC on server builds, or at least anybody building servers worth their salt is going to do ECC, but you can do it in the residential realm, and it's really nice. It adds an extra layer of stability to your systems. It's overkill for the residential realm, but I think it's worth it. But yes, ECC is mostly servers, that's true. Interesting part here is the Canary build, or the Canary build's actually less than the dev build. So 22H2's a little bit more bloated than 23H2, it looks like. The install here for this portion is gonna take longer than it's gonna we could honestly wipe out this system, rebuild the entire thing in less time than this in-place feature update would take. I think I'll leave this going, but I think we'll create a new VM and do a side-by-side install just to see. Earlier I was talking about whenever you do a feature update, I think you should just do a fresh install. I hate feature updates in Windows, and I push them back as far as I can just for stability purposes. But if you're gonna go with feature updates, I say do a fresh install every time. You're just gonna get a lot better experience. Your system's just gonna work a lot better, and it's gonna run a lot faster, because it never truly can clean up the old feature update. And I feel like just so much crap gets left behind. Yeah, the ISO probably in the Canary is probably outdated. That's true. Why not use media creation tool? Oh, people use the media creation tool? No, that's not a thing. No, I refuse to believe any IT professional out there still using media creation tool. No. Let's see, what do we got? Let's this is so shady. Let's do a speed run of how to install a virus on our machines. This looks super shady. Let's see. What's the conversion? Can we convert from Chinese? Let's just, I think this is fine. Yes, let's just click the blue button and see what the download looks like. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a CMD file, isn't it? Oh no, it's an SH script. How about that? Oh no, there's the CMD file. That's cool though. I mean, this is kind of my dev environment though. I don't want to screw it up too bad. Oh, I don't know. Oops. Did that open? I thought... Oh, this is a zip file. Sorry, one second. Let's just look at this. I'm curious to see what this is we just downloaded. Let's vim into old UUP Windows CMD. What do we got? Okay, we're grabbing files Araya, doing 7ZR. So we're running a couple binaries here that we have no idea what it does. I'm sure it's fine. Famous last words. Download some shady exes from a Chinese website. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, I've used UUP before, but still. I don't know. I'd probably feel better about just using the VM for that. Yeah, we can grab that and throw it in our VM and download it. I'm not going to do it on my dev environment, though. How are we doing on our upgrade here? Yeah. Vim and terminal, man. Oh, man, there's a cool one. Since we got a lot of Prime people in chat, this is a beautiful tool. I haven't done a video on it yet, but y'all are going to love this. Have you ever heard of NeoVide? This is on Mac, Linux, and Windows. So let's just do an install of NeoVide. I haven't added it to my toolbox yet. But if you're a Vim user, you got to check out NeoVide. This is a cool, such a cool piece of software. So if you're a Vim user in Windows and you're like, okay, I don't want to be like one of those guys just using VS Code for everything. I want to be one of the cool kids. I get it. I got you. So then with NeoVide, let's launch it. Just make sure. NeoVide. Let's launch in. So then it launches into NeoVide. Perfect. Cool thing now is we got full Vim integration into here. So let's go to our downloads again. Let's say we wanted to look at that file. We could actually right click. Let's open this in NeoVide just to see. So we'll go open with, where's that? I don't even know where stuff is on this system. It's not in here a whole bunch. Where'd it go? Nope. All right, I guess I just eat my words here. Damn it. I guess I shouldn't have installed that shell extension. It took me to an entire place, but... NeoVide. Let's try one of the SH files, maybe. Yeah, there's an open with there. Is there not an open with? Ah, it didn't allow me, huh? Weird. Okay, CMD files can't do that. But anyways, we'll just go open with. And we'll select NeoVide. Let's choose an app. We'll go NeoVide. Where are you at? EXE. Yes. Well, I'll say always open it. So then you'll have built-in Vim directly in here. So then you can do, you know, come back to here. You can delete the whole thing, undo it, do all your Vim stuff, pop right out. So then all your SH files now are open in NeoVide. So you have full integration with Vim support in your Explorer. This works in Linux too, so it's really neat way to integrate like GUI and Vim so you're not always in terminal. I need to do a video on it. I haven't had the time. Very, very cool. So we're almost there. Let that go. Shift right click taskbar and you can find shell. Shift right click taskbar, shell, config, imports terminal. I wonder if, let's go manager maybe. Nah, that's not gonna give me anything. I need to look at that config and add an open with thing in there. Yeah, terminal's fun. Windows terminal is great. I love the addition of it. I'd say that's the crowning achievement of Windows 11 has been finally removing like PowerShell and command prompt by default and adding just a simple right click Windows terminal right here. This is the best thing Microsoft has done in the last 10 years, 100% of the time. Vim doesn't have Windows binaries per se. Well, I mean, yeah, they do, but that's still, you have to be in a shell to launch Vim usually. NeoVide gives a GUI wrapper. Now, some people are like, well, there's always been GVim, I think it is, but GVim kind of sucks. Let's be honest, it's not great. NeoVide's much, much better. Yeah, so I personally use NeoVim. Vim, NeoVim, you know. I think most people have moved to NeoVim. You could do WSL. I don't particularly like WSL when I'm in Windows. I'd much rather just be in Linux if I'm in Linux. So it just depends on your comfort level, but WSL is okay. However, if I'm in Windows, I'm big on PowerShell. So I actually one of those weird people that likes PowerShell. You know, we're like unicorns out in the wild, but I know PowerShell pretty well. I probably know PowerShell more than I know Bash. So I know, but professionally, that's always been my jam. Windows servers has been what I've done for 20 plus years, even though I'm known as the Linux guy in the YouTube realm. I have no idea how that happened. Most people are like, didn't you make like 1,000 Linux videos? I'm like, yep. So you know Linux a lot better. Nope. I know Windows Server a lot better than I know Linux. It's kind of funny. All right, let's see the 23H2 install. We should be pretty good. How are we doing on our 20? Did we finally get there? Are we finally on the new 23H2 with Copilot? Ah, son of a bitch. All that for nothing. Really? I am disappointed. That's okay. We'll just run that CMD script that I said I wouldn't run, and we're just going to grab it from that shady source. Yeah. Even though we are on the dev channel, we need to be in the Canary channel to get 23HT, apparently. Yeah, see, we're on the dev channel. Alright, fine. Oh, can we enable it without doing 20... Let's see. Enable the new Copilot API. What does it require? GitHub website? The ViveTool. Oh, here we go. I don't really feel like installing Windows again. The book is closed. That's cool. Alright. We're not on an ARM processor. What is this? Vive is a C# plugin. Make your own programs. AB. Interesting. Okay. Let's install it. Extract that. ViveTool. Alright. Let's see what else we got. Alright. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. Type the following into there. Enable. Oh, okay. So, let's grab that guy. Downloads. ViveTool. Let's open this in terminal. Bah, bah. Let's paste that in. Really? Oh, yeah, it's... is it case sensitive? I think it is. Let's see. No, still doesn't like it. Oh, use CMD. I'm such a goob. Alrighty. Let's try that one more time, with more feeling this time. An error occurred, access is denied. It probably just needs... Let's go sudo, right? Let's see if my sudo is working. No, shoot, it's not working either. Alright, that's fine. That was fun. Let's go ahead and launch this with... I don't have a launch with admin. So be it. And then I think we can just... I think it's in my clipboard, isn't it? Yeah. CMD. Successfully set feature configurations. Okay, now we're good. Alright, restart your computer, open settings, click on personalization, taskbar, Copilot preview, toggle it on. Okay. Windows C. Ooh. What? Don't tell me Copilot's commingled with Teams. Yeesh. Gross. Okay. Let's reboot and just see. Yeah. Hey, man. I like trolling you guys. Sometimes it's fun. It's fun. I mean, all the times it's fun. You know me. Eventually I read chat. Alright, here we go. Let's switch back to old Windows. See if we got Copilot. Copilot in the new Windows. Alrighty. Windows C. Still wants Teams. I don't see Copilot here. I guess we could log into Teams. 1 second. Yeah, the version requirement, I think we meet that. It shouldn't be that far away. Alright, I think I'm not showing anything personal on the screen, so it should be fine. We'll see. Yeah, Teams is evil 100%. It did not show there, so we might be a little bit light on the version requirement. Let's check to make sure our updates are there. It's just an antivirus update, nothing else. I think we just ran updates on the last stream when I corrupted Explorer through bad memory. Yeah. Well, guys, I don't know. I don't know on that one. Yeah, I usually dox myself at least once a week. Yeah, computer says no. And Copilot. Yeah, nothing in search either. Let's I think we can restore that session we had open. Let's just do that. Okay. So first let's look at the version requirements here. We already did the ViveTool. Restart the computer, open settings, click on personalization. Alright, we can try that. Settings, personalization, taskbar. No go. No go. It should be right here. So, what happened? Probably something I did. I probably have my updates locked down a little bit. Yeah, I've looked at Dev Home. It's kind of an interesting bit. I don't know how useful it is right now, though. Yeah, so I think we probably need 23H2. Unless there was something else. 23493. Let's see what our build number is. We're on 22621. So we do need to go up and build. Oh, man. Do I really want to push to the latest version? I guess we could look. I don't really want to do this here. I just know anytime I go to the latest version on a dev build, there's just no going back. And then something always screws up and then you're like, well, I guess I got to reinstall. Let's try to hack it and just try and toss it in. But I think we're going to need that latest build to truly unlock it. Let's go ahead and add this. Yeah, we could do it in a VM, but this is actually on bare metal. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I mean, Copilot's out. I've been using Copilot a bunch. Let's just open up my last project. I've been doing like my new WinOneShot tool, which is like a .NET framework for debloating Windows using my old school one. And we've been using like Copilot chat down here. And that's actually been really good. It's a really neat thing when looking at these files. Let's go to the main project file. So like this right here, you could pull these in and just say fix, pull all entries or something like that. Copilot, fix this, and it'll just look at, that's just a warning there. It doesn't actually need to be fixed, but it'll say, hey, this is our suggested fixes for this thing. And then it rewrites your code for you. You can say accept fix, and then it rewrites it to that. Is that correct? Probably not. In my experience, a lot of times there's it's usually like 30% right, maybe, and that's being generous. 70% probably wrong, but I'm not a C# programmer. I'm just like a couple weeks into C#. So a lot of times I just like, that's an interesting take. I don't know how good that is, but I probably could learn something from it, and then I usually hack around and kind of get it working and slowly do it. But personally, that seems cleaner to me. I don't know why you wouldn't just use this. But Copilot chat's pretty good. Like I said, I just like it because it teaches me new functions and crap I need to learn. And sometimes it's right. Most times it's wrong. And I'm like, oh, that's an interesting thing. And then I kind of rewrite it to make it be more minimal in like something I would actually code. Oh, yeah. The Microsoft Copilot is what I was talking about. I just have been enjoying Copilot and a lot of the AI tools just for learning coding itself. But yeah, it totally screws things up most times, I would say. I found it's remarkably bad in Rust, particularly good at Python and JavaScript. Yeah, I could see that too. The more popular a language is, the better off it'll probably do. I've tried Google Bard a bunch. I have yet to have a good response in Google Bard. I have found Copilot does pretty good in PowerShell as well. So if you're into like PowerShell scripts, Google Copilot does a pretty decent job, or Microsoft's Copilot does a pretty good job of it. Yeah, the ChatGPT code generation I have, it does a really good job as well. ChatGPT is probably one of the best for like AI functions and things that it writes for you so far. But I've said it a million times on the channel. I'll go ahead and say it again. AI is just going to make things a little bit faster for good programmers. It's not going to be like, write me a program, AI, and it's going to write a perfect program. That's just never going to happen. It's not going to replace anybody's job in the programming space, I don't think. It's just going to make programmers the good programmers, they're going to be able to produce a lot more product, I think, at the end of the day. That's my personal experience from it. But again, my background's more in infrastructure, not programming. Yeah. But I do think AI, you can learn really good. You can use it to supercharge your learning. I will say on this one, I did want to expand on this. I think we were doing a for each loop for this JSON file. And if we look at the JSON file, let's see, where did I put that? Tweaks JSON. I wanted to grab in and have it specifically run certain tweaks. So I really wanted to change this to an array. I wonder, can we use Copilot? Again, noob programmer here, please excuse. Let's just say, make an array out of WPF ESS tweaks LOC. Let's see what it does. So maybe that might work. So it expands it to registry entries, that, but that's not going to do it. It's already feeding an error. So what I'm thinking, and I'm just asking the wrong thing, is I need to change this to be an array and then pull in each version of the JSON file right here. So we go all the way up. I want to do the essential tweaks AH. Instead of having to repeat this for loop, I want to be able to grab everything and just have it run this for each one. Best way to do it I can think of is to just make these an array, feed it into this for loop, and it just goes through the array one by one and grabs that. Extensions pretty bare bones, I think. I don't even know where you find your extensions for VS Code. Hey, all right, yeah, I have to check out Snazzy Labs. I've been working on it a lot. The big thing is I really wanted to get back into programming, because back in the late 90s, I did a lot of C programming or C++ programming, and then I got out of it and did a lot of, I just fell into infrastructure work. So I was just, you know, like racking stacks and redoing a lot of small business to even big business the past 10 years. And now that I'm more doing YouTube, I kind of wanted to get back into programming. So that's where the whole Windows tool came from. And it all started from an old sysadmin script I ran as a PS1 that had no GUI. And then I was like, hey, let's build a GUI using a XAML file and a PS1 so it'd build it in real time. And then people started contributing, and I was like, oh crap, I need to make a good executable for them to use. And I tried wrapping the PS1 in an executable using like C, and that works, but every antivirus flags it as a virus. And I'm like, crap, okay. So then I'm trying to do a rewrite for the executable to pull the tweaks JSON files from the open source project, so then none of the antiviruses would flag it, and then it would just run the tweaks that we specify here. It's kind of cool. So then there'll be two projects, but all the open source content is, and all the tweaks we use is all in this JSON file. So if you run the PS1 script, it grabs from the JSON file. Or if you run the executable, it'll grab from the JSON file, but it'll do it all in .NET instead of doing it in script form. So that's like the idea behind these two projects. The main catch here is learning C# as I do it. When will it be out? When it's ready, I guess. As soon as I'm able to get it to a point where people can specify and just kind of load their own entries into a JSON file, that's going to be great for sysadmins. Let's say you wanted to run this on 1,000 systems, you could just load it up and it'd just do all the tweaks, which is nice. Right now, it's just doing tweaks LOC. But yeah, that's the big thing with this, is I wanted to keep an open source section that is always fully developed and always open source over here, because all the tweaks and feedback I get from that main utility kind of fuels this section because it uses the same tweaks. Oh, that's a good one, Pattern. I didn't think about that. Doing just a basic base 64 encoded command. That's pretty hilarious. That's a good tip. I might do that in the interim until I finish the WinOneShot. Let's see. Var and root. I'm trying to think of the best way. Let's first run this program just to make sure it's loading properly or actually running properly. Let's just take this. Fancy Zones doesn't work, by the way, when you run something as admin or as an administrator. Let's go WinOneShot, CD my project. So what do we have? Just cache programs and a couple things here. Let's go .NET run. All right, cool. So right now it's just doing those basic ones and changing those values for us. We still have a couple warnings we probably should work through as well, which is more nullable stuff, which I had to kind of learn a little bit. But usually, like doing the quotes around the variables usually fixes the non-nullable reference warnings. I just haven't gone back through and fixed that up yet. Why not use the VS Code terminal? I guess I could, but I don't like it kind of so small down here, and I kind of like this one right here. Also, we're running this as admin because we're changing the system in real time here. We're writing directly to the registry and doing some system elevated stuff. So if it was just in like the user space, I'd be totally okay with probably doing VS Terminal. But I kind of like this separation. I don't know. I'm weird too, so I don't even know why I have that open. Technically, it should look something like this so y'all can see it. Let's what is it? It's just maybe too much on the enhance. Yeah, you always use it. It's again, and this is some of me just learning too. That's a lot of my streams is just like, oh, okay. Whenever I do these coding streams. Now, let me think. Let me think through this just a second. Now that we understand kind of how the one-shot works, one is pulling all the tweaks here, feeding those in. Pull this, like auction tweaks AH. That's activity feed that we are disabling. Let's just go var registry entries, maybe registry entries. I'm trying to think. Okay, what if, let's see if we can't make this an array. I don't even know how to make an array. That's how far behind I am at coding. Make this an array. I know like the basics of it from way back in the day, but that's about it. To array. So then var, but we wouldn't specify that again. We would just go, could we do like registry again? Entries like this equals root. No, it's not going to allow me to do that because I wanted to add this tweak to the array. What's that going to look like? To an array. Ah, come on. Keep typing the wrong thing. I'm so used to PowerShell. Okay. So that doesn't work. So I believe you'd do that. Control-Shift-J. Control-Shift-J. What does that do? Registry entries dot add. Okay. Instead of to list. Okay. Let's say that. Then you can use list instead, then add use array. So you wouldn't need that. Does not exist in current context. Okay. So let's just spit out a white paper real fast. Let's say create an array in C#. So you have the int. Obviously, we wouldn't use int. That would be for the declaration, the first element. Okay, so you do var test add root to list, replaced array with list, and then test add dot something. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Thank you, ZY. That makes sense. So this actually would look like, I guess we'll do camel case, and we got the LOC, and then we just go to list like that. I think that would work. And then for the next entry, it would look a little different since we're not declaring the variable anymore. This would look like dot add, and then inside this you would do the registry, something like that. But that's, yeah, no, that's not gonna work. In my mind that would work, but no. And this registry entries might be an already existing variable as well. Do you need to do the to list on here? Yeah, I didn't think so. Again, how we're pulling these entries in, and also is this a reused entry is something that, let's change this to JSON tweaks to run. Something like that. Let's just change this variable, because I'm thinking we're probably reusing that variable somewhere. Tweaks to run. and that might cause us issues. It doesn't like that, but VS Code's pretty bad for C#. I do have Visual Studio. I just hate Visual Studio. Use add range and toList. Okay. What if we create a function out of this right here, and then we just call it through variables here? But I mean, honestly, I'm just overcomplicating it. That seemed to work. Why didn't it like that? Okay. Probably just add question mark. No. That's interesting. Anyhow, you're adding one list to another list. It needs an add range. Ah, I gotcha. So this would be creating one big list right here as it culls all the registry entries for each one, because there's 4 entries in this right here. So it's gonna add on the list. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. So that should work, and then we would just call the list right down here. So instead of running this, we would just do JSON tweaks to run, and then it would pull these in. So if we look at our past run, it did 4 registry. These are the LOC tweaks from JSON. And then if we look over here, it would add 3 more: publish user activities, activity feed, and upload user activities, setting those to 0, disabling activity feed altogether in Windows. So we'll have the old 4 and the 3 if we did this right. Will this work? I have no idea. Let's run it. So we had the last 4, but then we added on the next 3, which is activity feed, publish. Look at that. Y'all are a bunch of geniuses. God, I love coding with Twitch. Y'all just kind of do it all for me, and then I'm like, oh, okay. I will go take credit now. Okay, so then we got to feed these in. Do I have to make new lines for each one, or could I do like a comma and then just toss another one in and just add... Oh. And then just add like the next tweak. So let's say we go hibernation tweak here, which I wouldn't do hibernation for this. Group, that's a service. Tweaks LOC, that's registry. Service tweaks. Continue. Yeah. Twitch chat is way more powerful than ChatGPT ever will be. I guarantee you that. So now we know how to do lists properly and also add those lists. Got a lot of service tweaks. We'll get into that here in a second. Dang, most of these are service tweaks. All right, here we go. So now we have telemetry. That's going to be the next one. Copy. Telemetry has scheduled tasks, and then we're going to add a whole host of telemetry tweaks right here. This is going to be about 20 or 30 in a run. Let's see how that does. You can see we got quite a few changes that are happening here. And obviously it's going to ignore the invoke script. We've already set that up in a prior stream. So we'll just go root, comma, dot, telemetry, dot, registry. All right, perfect. Then we just take that, oops, done. So this will add probably about 20 or so, or does that not work now? It won't take multiple arguments, will it? Now, so we got to do add range again. So it has to be, I mean, it's still better than rewriting the for each variable a million times. Very cool, though. I like it. Okay. So we'll just take this, copy, paste, and then we just grab the telemetry. Let's grab that. Okay, come on. Alrighty, we got that. Program CS, and we'll just tack that in there. We probably should verify this on this, and let's also comment this. Location tweaks. This is activity. App history tweaks, I guess. Telemetry tweak. Look at that. All right, beautiful. So then we have all of those. Move on to the next function. We're almost through this entire JSON file. Wi-Fi tweaks. This disables like Wi-Fi sense and also Wi-Fi reporting, which nobody wants. There's not a human being alive that wants all this. So let's add that next. Actually, I'm gonna just grab this top one. Let's just put it in here a couple times. Just add a little bit of space. Ah, what happened? I think we probably got about 5 more of these and then it should be good. It's actually not bad. Doesn't feel very bloated at all. Laptop power tweaks. I'm actually going to remove these power throttling and all that. Miscellaneous tweaks, hiding file extensions. Not going to do that. This is kind of a controversial tweak, but one that I kind of want to put in the script is UTC. I really like universal time, and almost on all my systems, I like switching it to universal time. Windows by default runs on local or machine time, which is just awful. It's the only operating system in the world that does that, and I don't know why they still do it in 2023. So I don't think there's any downside to using UTC. I think we're going to apply that tweak by default, because that just seems smart. Tweaks, I don't think we'll do any display tweaks just because that's a personal preference thing, and you really don't get a whole host of benefits from it. Oh no, that's an invoke. It's a numpad for laptops, not really needed. Remove edge, it's actually different. Disable notification center and toasts. I don't want to do that. Most people actually like the notification center. I'm not one of them, but I know I'm the minority at least. So I won't impose my will upon others. Disable TPM check doesn't really matter now. I don't even think they even bother checking it themselves anymore. Used to be a thing when Windows 11 first came out. Disabling UAC, no. Mouse acceleration. Again, personal preference. Some people like the acceleration in Windows, some people don't. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Tweaks enable verbose login. Nope. DVR tweaks. Does anybody use Windows Game DVR? I sure don't. I think we'll actually grab that, toss it in here. We'll do Game DVR. And then Bing search. Disabling Bing search. I hate Bing search. And oop, did we grab too much? Really? Oh, okay. I didn't think it was grabbing that much. For some odd reason it was grabbing all that. All right, so now we have all our tweaks. All the registry tweaks from the toolbox is now in here. Let's just comment. Say Wi-Fi tweaks. UTC tweaks. DVR, and then old Bing search tweaks. All right, wonderful. So that is all the registry tweaks in the toolbox now ported over to .NET Framework, and that should run seamlessly. If we do our run, all right, what do we have? We got some not found values. Let's see if our system reboots properly. What's going on here? Data collection value not found. I think we need an if statement so we're not writing out to registry keys that don't exist. I think that's probably what we need to do, because that could be bad. I still don't think that's going to cause anything bad per se to happen, but I do not like that that output. I don't want to be the responsible for bricking someone's Windows install. So let's fix that. Task value not found. Why? What's it doing with that value? Let's take a peek at that. Error message one more time. What was it? Content delivery manager. Let's see what that is looking like in the JSON file and see what it's trying to feed it and why it's not giving a proper value. Content delivery allowed. That. Content delivery manager value. So best way to check that. Let's look at the registry. No, regedit. All right, we have that. So if we look here, we're going to go into current user, software, Microsoft Windows, current version, content delivery manager. So let's go current user, software, Microsoft. Microsoft. Oops, fat fingered that one. Microsoft, Windows, current version, and then content delivery manager. Where are you at? Content delivery manager. Okay, so what keys do we have? Content delivery allowed is 0, and content delivery allowed 0. Original value 1. So that value is correct, but for whatever reason, it is not outputting it here. What went awry? Oh, did I mess up something? Let's see. Var normalized equals to run where string is null or empty to list. I don't know if we have any C# devs in the house, but together we could fix it. So this is definitely not grabbing the right value. What's the very first one that doesn't grab the value? As soon as we get to this one, Windows System Enable Active. No, that's fine. It's this one. So yes, the first one is telemetry right here. It is not grabbing the name field. The name field is coming in blank or null from the look of it. Because if you look, it goes from here, system, enable, and then data collecting. Value is nothing, or the value should be the name. Value user upload activities equals 0. Value blah. So it's null. So what's happening here when this gets added under telemetry where it's not properly putting in the name field? But it does get AH, so we do know that's fine, probably. I didn't see anything in chat so far. Did we actually do it as an array? I believe when we issued it. So this is the declaration right up here. And strongly typed list can be accessed by index. It's my registry. Okay. What's the best way to issue that? Should we add like that for non-null value? I don't know if that would actually make a difference. Run debug. Let's see the JSON again. So where it stops pulling the name is right here. Allow telemetry. No? Let's see. What was the first value that went awry? So that's fine. We got that one. Windows System. Enable activity feed. Fine. System. Publish. You upload. All right. So data collection value. So data collection is the first one that goes wrong. So it's this one. I know what it is. You guys are going to laugh your butt off. Value and name, order of operations here, this actually getting placed after value, where would it be that something that simple? There's also the name being lowercase possibly. So there's a couple things. I don't think it'd be this, but it might be the actual lowercase. It's case sensitive, isn't it? Yeah, you guys are right. Yeah, that's it. So let's just do name, replace name. Okay. So if we replace all those, value with value, type with type. I probably should not do it in this global method, but when in Rome. Oh, good call. Otherwise I mess up the path. All right, let's go back a little bit before I got all happy-go-lucky there. All right. You guys are right. All right, that should make everybody feel better, right? So let's go value next. And we're going to go value. And then the next one, type with type. 63, 63. It seems like it all matched up. The numbers didn't change at all. Alrighty. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. So now that we have that, let's run it again. That should fix it. I don't believe the order that it ingests the JSON should matter at all. So we'll check that out. That should fix up all the not found errors. So let's just rerun that again. And it did. Oh, that's so beautiful, right? So that's all the registry entries for the actual toolkit done through a .NET change or a .NET function. You could also do this case insensitive. Oh, I gotcha. Property name insensitive true when we do the serialization of the JSON file. That's true. Maybe I kind of feel like we should clean up the source file anyways, but it's good to know. Good to know that that does exist if we want to do case insensitive for those values. Oh, was there? Man, you guys are sharp if you can catch that. Oh, value D word. Yep, you are right. So if we look, D word, yeah. So that actually should be D word like that for the Bing search. I mean, we'll still have to, the official JSON file will have to tweak anyways on the actual open source project because this JSON file is already old. This is just kind of workshopping the universal nature of it. If we run that again, now we should have all of that. Perfect. A lot more options. Let's see. Yeah. Type fields and maxed up. That's pretty darn cool. I dig it. I dig it. All right. So we've got the tweaks in for all of the registry, the to-do service implementation from JSON. So this should be, we should actually have registry tweaks. I actually want to change this. Let's take this JSON registry. Should we do camel case? Registry tweaks to run. I feel like that would make more sense. So that's our registry tweaks. Man, everyone on Twitch is like, let's raid Titus today. What's up, Rob? All right, man. Oh, yeah, we had the Primogen raided me earlier. All 2,000 users. I was like, oh no, am I getting a bot army on there? And then I had to look it up. I'm like, oh no, it's just Prime. Oh man, how y'all doing today? We're doing some C# programming. We're converting our JSON tweaks from the open source project into an executable binary and grabbing some of the stuff. All of it sounds way over my head. We're just having fun with it is all. I haven't done C# ever. And all I know is basic like object-oriented programming from like the 90s. So that's kind of my my wheelhouse here. Now let's see on our tweaks here, our services. We're gonna pull in, let's close that. Where's the first services we pull in? I think essential tweak services is the big one we're gonna be grabbing. We'll grab name and startup type for the service. So it'll only be 2 variables we'll need. And we'll grab that. So the type, disabled, automatic delayed start. That should be pretty easy to grab. Have a good one, Rob. Thanks for jumping in, man. Good seeing you again. All right, for this one, we don't need any of these. I think I was pulling this all into yeah, and then doing it through this way. That's interesting. But all we need to do for each, how do I want to pull this in? All this is redundant now. So I was manually doing it before using this, but we don't need to do that any longer. And this one will be like automatic auto service name. Yeah. There's different functions to call depending on what it is. So we'll have to read the type and then we'll call like set service type here to each one. We'll just leave these comments. We don't need the for loops anymore. And we're gonna grab that and that. There's three functions that we'll call. All right, so let's start writing this. We'll do a var JSON string to run to list. Let's just grab this as our template since we've already done it. Universal. This one's going to be service tweaks. Service tweaks. Service tweaks to run. And these are not going to be a registry. They'll be service. Correct. What do we got? Yeah, service. Service. Now that is giving me an error. Oh, because of we're only going to be pulling one service entry, which is this W essential tweak services right here. Oops. Like that. I don't even think we need to add another range. Service tweaks. So that adds it to the list. And then what we're going to do, we're going to modify this a bit. We will need some more if statements in here to say, is this manual, is it automatic, or is it automatic delayed? Those are the three things we need. Var, what do we got for this? I think we'll do service entry, service entry, service entry, and service entry path replace. Oh no, this is just a path replace. We're not going to have to do any of that business this time around. It's not as jank as the registry. Imagine that. And JSON service tweaks to run. Perfect. 7+9 errors. I don't think we have any errors. Those are all warnings, aren't they? I don't know. Last time we didn't get any warnings on the .NET run, so I think we'll be fine. We're still just kind of coding this out yet. So this is actually just going to be service entry like that. So we're just going to fix those up. Now, obviously there's not these. So it'll be service manager. And this is where we'll go set startup type. We'll do if statements calling each one of these functions. And we'll have, I think we can easily, I'm trying to think, probably the best way to do this. Service entry dot name, and then we'll call the startup type. So this one's just going to be name, and I'm trying to think if there's a more elegant solution here for this one. I think just doing an if and then like else ifs would probably be the easiest. Like if set to manual, else if set to automatic, else if set automatic delayed. I feel like that's probably the most elegant way of doing it. I don't think that's really elegant. It's just kind of like, hey, this will work. I'd use a switch. I feel like a switch would be better. I agree with you there, Sparky. Yeah, switch. Everyone's like, switch. Come on, what are you, a noob? All right, so what's a switch in C# even look like? I don't know. Let's see. All right. Create a C# switch. Okay, I see the syntax. Cool. All right, so we're gonna do switch that. All right, cool. Like it. So we'll go switch. was it switch, and this is where we'll pull in the service entry, and we want the startup type. And if we look, then we're gonna grab that. We need the curly braces, don't we? All right, curly braces. Oh, what? No, back. Curly braces. All right, let's grab that. And case automatic, sure. Case manual. And oh, look at that. Ah, cool. That's actually flip-flopped. Manual. We'll fix some of these errors. I'm sure there's a better way of doing it. Automatic. And then the next case would be case delayed. I don't think that's actually proper terminology. I believe it's automatic delayed. Automatic delayed start is the actual terminology we need. And then, oop. Yeah, grab that. Automatic delayed start. Delayed auto. Okay. So, then we need the break, right? Break in all cases right here. So, we'll add the break for each case. Break. Break. Ooh, that is looking sexy. Ooh, that's looking so good. Good night. I think I'm gonna be a programmer here in a second. Someone's gonna pay me $5 an hour any minute. My goodness. All right. Look at my noob skills. Oh, how great they are. So this should set all our startups service tweaks according to our JSON file over here. So we have our startup types, our programs. It'll go through each one, go through the tweaks, and set them all. We are now Elite Hacker Man. So this would be all the services. This will set all the registry tweaks from the JSON, and now it'll set all the service tweaks from the JSON. In a perfect world, let's run it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Does it actually? I forgot if I put the verbose command in there to actually write it to console. Let's run it and find out. .NET run. All right, cool. All right, that's set. Automatic. Is there any automatic delayed in here? Let's make sure there's an automatic delayed, huh? Automatic. I don't see any automatic delayed. I feel like there should have been an automatic delayed in here. The not found ones are not a big deal, but the automatic delayed ones are a bigger deal. Startup type looks great. Damn it, okay, I guess we could do some error checking there. Let's pull in the service function and take a look at it. Okay, service function, manual, changing to manual. Okay, then we got the auto function, setting to change to automatic, then auto delayed. Oh, well. Automatic delayed. That's why it didn't show any automatic delayed. The verbose entry. Now we should do an error checking to make sure that the actual service exists, so we don't have those ugly not founds. Add default colon case to log those. Not sure what you mean there, Spongman. Yeah, all these should be logged into the log. There should be a log it spits out by default. It's part of the function. If I'm remembering it correctly. Let's see the switch example again. 1 second. Let's just make sure. So here's the changes. So anytime it makes a change, it does go ahead and toss it to wherever the executables run from. It adds this log file that logs everything that's been done. So we have that. Let's check the switch case statement. Just as a good error check, you guys say I should add that into our case. Invalid input. Something like that. Does that satisfy y'all's needs? I got you. So something like that should better than nothing. I got you. So that sets all our services. That sets all our registry. Then would be task scheduler would be next. We already did the registry portion. Probably need to look at reverting that as well. I don't think we need that anymore. What do we got? This is, let's document this out a little bit better, shall we? Registry. This is going to be JSON serialization, registry, services portion. Let's just take up a whole bunch of space, shall we? Okay. Services portion, and then debloat apps portion. I kind of wonder, this one I'm probably gonna have to write a special function, because I believe when we debloat the apps in the JSON, it kind of, oh, actually no, that's right there. That's gonna be pretty easy to absorb. That's not gonna be bad at all. Okay. Invalid startup type. Oh, okay. You like that better. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. That would be better than invalid JSON entry. That doesn't really tell you anything, does it? Okay. I see what you're saying. So this would be better. Curly brace. Is it going to be able to pull that? I feel like the right line doesn't look correct. Shouldn't that be like that? Ooh, maybe not. Maybe like a dollar sign, and then maybe a dollar sign quote, something like that maybe? Or just the dollar sign? Ah, just the dollar sign then. Huh, don't think it likes that. Before the quote, okay. So something like that. Oh, okay, I got what you're saying. So, check my original chat. Ah, invalid startup type, blah, 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 da, da, da. That should be verbatim, right? Invalid startup type. Copy selection. Let's just paste it in, see what it looks like. Yeah, okay. So that's exactly what you wrote. Nothing different. Okay, cool. Although it is still showing an error here. Registry entry does not... Oh, well. That's because it's service entry. Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, no, I got the gist of it. Understanding, like, strings and pulling variables in when writing the lines in C#, I'm just not very good at yet. But I like it. Yay, we did the thing. All right, cool. So this should pull everything in. Now we should have a couple things fixed from this, the services. We have the new switch. Learned switches today. Let's rerun it. I think that should be pretty solid. .NET run. And we should see some delayed auto there. Ah, yep. See the automatic delayed. I guess we could do an error check for the startup type not found. Error service startup type not found. That's when, so why it's spitting out that error is because I'm feeding a service name that doesn't exist on this computer. However, the service name does exist on like Windows 10, such as Windows 10 home groups is a thing. On Windows 11, they removed home group because it was terrible. But I still want to disable it for Windows 10 systems. So we need to do a check for that. Invalid startup type disabled. Oh, and we're also pulling some disabled there. I didn't think the JSON actually did disabled, but we could also add that in there as well. Yeah. We could easily, like I said, it would run pretty well right now. I didn't realize we had some disabled variables in there. Let's see if there's anything else that sticks out to us. Yeah, disabled. Yeah, apparently I am disabling a few things. I'm kind of curious what ones we're disabling, but let's add that in the case. If we look at our services, do we have that over here? So we have type auto. Yeah. This feels like this could be like a fourth of the size. Looking back on how I wrote this, that could have been better. I could have done a better job on this one. Because now I'm just copy pasting and making new ones where if I added another variable that said string server startup type and then would have fed that, because I want to say it's using the same base object and pushing that. Do I feel like rewriting it? Not really. Refactor? Paste the whole thing to ChatGPT and tell it to refactor? You think that'll work? We can try it. What if we, let's just do it in Copilot. Let's, so let's say we take this, we say fix, refactor. Let's see if it does it. What does refactor do exactly? I like to just follow your guys' advice blindly, but I do like to know what I'm doing. Pull out all the common stuff and parameterize. Ah, okay. Rewrites into better, cleaner, and pulls out redundant code. Ah, okay. Okay, cool. So with the refactor, we're going from 107 lines to 80 lines. Okay. What did it do? So we still have the three, the manual, the auto, and then the delayed auto. I feel like we could rewrite this to be better. Copilot didn't do anything. All right, let's go ChatGPT now. That's hilarious. All right, let's go refactor this code. No. Ah, that's cool. Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, I heard Snazzy gave me a shout out. I like the backwards compatibility here. Obviously, we could redo this so it's not so jank, but that's kind of jank I like right there. I think we're gonna go with that. Right? So then we could just take this, copy, right? Bam. And then set to disabled. And then disabled. Is it that simple, maybe? So then we just take this and disabled and disabled. So then that'll fix all our disabled code, and we streamline the code to actually minimize it and make it run even more efficiently. I dig it. All right, well, let's run it. Let's see what the new and improved. What about that error check? What about, we could put an if statement in, just say, hey, if method, if service doesn't exist, don't try to change startup mode. Let's see. Let's go fix. If service doesn't exist, don't run. Let's see if it can absorb that. Fix it for me, AI. What you gonna spit out? Huh. That's my log file path, you dumb AI. Ah, Copilot. What are you doing? Is it, wait, is it? It's kind of getting it, right? That doesn't look right. Well, let's just accept it and see what it looks like. No. What is, okay. Oh, just do the exact same thing under it. Can we? Let's go redo. I think if services, get services, any service name, that actually might work right there. So we're doing startup type, blah, 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 service name. So if we grab this, no, don't do it. Don't you do it, Copilot. Stay out of my way. All right. Then add that. So if no service, get services. If not, get services any service. I believe we don't need the not. We would want if service does exist, then run these parameters. Right? I feel like that would be okay. I like that initial line it gave me. So, let's go. Let's do it. Let's run it. See what we come up with. No need to wrap. Well, do you think that was wrong? Let's see. Well, that was much smoother. A very solid output here. Ask ChatGPT to refactor the... Okay. Refactor the switch statement. Okay. Refactor. Refactor! All right, let me give you the code. 1 second. Let's go switch statement. Man, this refactor from GPT is like my new favorite thing. What? Whoa, that... Really? Oh, use the previous chat? Okay. Uh-oh, it broke. Let's go right here. All right. So use this one. It needs the context. Okay. Let's see if it with the proper context. Ow, geez, I need to take off my caps. Refactor this switch statement. And we'll just get that. Okay, you can refactor the switch statement by creating a dictionary that maps the startup types to their corresponding methods in the Service Manager class. This will simplify the code and make it more extensible. Here's refactored code. Oh, cool. Creating a dictionary. I didn't even know that's possible. Yeah. I mean, I like the idea. I think that all the code's wrong, though, right? So we have to tell it to completely... Can you use the context of my first example for the last refactor? I feel like we're getting lost in the weeds here. Just gotta think like a machine here. Okay. I mean, that's kind of cool. Ooh. What I don't understand is why did it dump everything into the bool of the manual when that should actually be like up here? It feels like I get what it's trying to do. Wouldn't you private static read-only dictionary, and then during this it should be fine. And then if we look at the other one right here, name log start path. So then you would set the service entry name log. Service entry startup type. So then you don't even need the switch statement is basically what it's saying. So it would... This basically removes the switch statement altogether. Do we really need to do that? Or is it just trying to make efficient code? I mean, I kind of like it how it's set right now. That makes sense to me, but I get it. I really dig the refactor, though, that you showed me here, Sponge. Take it easy, Sparky. I say let's just keep it as is for now. I do appreciate you showing me that, though. Obviously, the function could have been written better, and we have these legacy stuff, and we're doing a switch statement for that, where if we just fed it the proper service type out of the get-go, you don't need any of the legacy stuff, and then you just dump it. It's a good exercise, though. I think I'm going to save that for next stream. I think we're going to shut her down for the day. I really enjoyed this. This was fun. This was so much fun. We got through a lot of it. At least we have all the registry, all the services set right now. We'll probably rewrite it. I definitely agree refactoring it, taking out the switch statement, just feeding it the service type, and then rewriting that service function makes a lot of sense to me. I totally get what you're getting at with that. I think that's just awesome. And, yeah, I dig it. Lazy G service edition. We're gonna just submit that to our GitHub. And wait, what did it not like? Oh, it's just the cache file. Who cares? Okay. Yeah, I think that's where we leave it for today. Thanks all for jumping in chat. This was a blast. I absolutely love all this, and thanks all for the raids. We had like a Rob raid, we had Primogen raid us, man, and probably some others I missed here. It was just amazing, cool little stream. I wish we got the 23H2 Copilot work, and I would have liked to see that. I'm sure it's a hot mess of a system integration. That's why I didn't want to put it on my actual production machine here. Maybe next stream we load it up again, try it out, or I kind of like I might do like the DWM Linux thing, but I really want to finish this project. As I've said in multiple streams, I'm like, dude, I have to finish this. So either one of these days I just need to do a late night stream, spend 8 hours just chunking through this, and then get it done. Otherwise, it's going to take me a month. But every stream I like to chop up and produce for content as well. So it's like, so many things. I just need to do all the things. But anyways, I appreciate everybody's help today, hanging with me, chatting, helping me not lose my insanity, and all the great suggestions. Learning refactor, arrays and lists I thought was cool, which I'd never done in C# before. And then just overall, man, there's just so much cool things that every time I get in here and jump in, I'm like, wow, this is so much better than I was doing it like 20 years ago. So much easier. Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see y'all in the next one.